Hey, what's up, guys? Little man with a big opinion here. So, for today's video, I've got some prepping storage supplies. I can probably even get the camera better angled. But I'm just gonna sit here, go through the process, explain it, and I typically don't do these on a live stream, but I'll kind of explain my thought process of what I do. You know, I've got my phone plugged up and I'm just watching the NFL right now. So when I'm doing what I'm doing right now, I'm not just focused on prepping. Uh, I'm always watching something on YouTube, watching sports, a TV show, have an audiobook playing, anything like that, just to, you know, double dip. So I'm gonna grab the supplies of what I got to get stored up for you, and then I'll go through and explain my thought process. Uh, if y'all like me doing the live streams, then I'll look at doing more of them. Right now, it's just coming off of the camera on my laptop, and it doesn't look all that great. Also, I'll get that out of it. All right, so the two things I got while I went out shopping today was a big old container of old fashioned oats, whole grain. These things are wonderful. Let's go ahead and get this lid popped. And, I'll do just about anything with these. I mean, sugar, regular sugar, brown sugar. I've even tried it with Splenda, and it's not terrible. Uh, and then different fruits. Put freeze dried fruit in here as well, and the heat up will make that taste amazing. Oh, not storing these, but this is my go-to trail mix. Like I said, I almost got a container of uh, pinto beans, an 8-pound bag. Decided against it. So what I ended up getting was a bunch of small packets of different beans that I'm going to put into pint and quart-sized jars. So let me go get some more jars. And all of these jars, uh, I did run through the dishwasher, like on just a steam. Uh, didn't care to clean them, or you can, you know, boil them and get the same effect. Uh, some of the jars these days will even have, the lines for, day, month, year. So I got pint-sized jars today, and I got quart-sized jars. So I'm gonna grab the quart-sized jars too. All right, so here we got some quart-sized jars. And so all of these jars came in a 12 pack, and I've got the receipt in my pocket. I'm also kind of out of desk space. Uh-oh. Get the receipt so I can show you all that. All right, so uh, the quart jars, the pack of 12, they were $13.97 to get 12 of these. Uh, and then the pint-sized jars were $11.47. So it really is better, in my opinion, to get the quart size. Uh, but I like various different sizes. Uh, I prefer to do honey in a jar this size versus a jar this size. And doing different levels allows me to pick and choose where I store things, and it allows me to just kind of have more flexibility. The one thing that I will say is I do not do the 5 gallon Mylar bags anymore. I think that was a slight mistake on my part. But the container of oats that I have, that was like $3.98. I could have circled this beforehand. All right, but so I don't know what dry beans are. That was $1.14. Black eyed peas, $1.58. Great Northern, $1.78. Small Reds, $1.28. Another thing that's dry beans, but it's $1.37. Pinto beans were $1. So the great value is $3.98. So what I'm doing with this is it's going to go into the jar. The jar is going to get a date put on it, which I don't know where I have a marker for that yet, but jar is going to have a date put on it, and then they'll go in the freezer for about 5 days just to make sure uh, everything's good. I'm missing one thing, and it's basically my funnel. I didn't think about grabbing that. All right, I'll come up with something here without having to go grab the funnel. But this is another size, just same container as these ones, where this one's a much uh, wider lid, and it's personal preference. I'll just pour. But then, like, I have these little. I don't even think this is considered a half pint, but this is salt that I put away in 2011, and I mean it's still, uh, broken up into its individual pieces. I also did wash my hands before this. I don't know if I want to do it like this. That's gonna take forever doing it little pinches like that. All right. All of this is going to end up in jars. Where did I put it? Plastic trash. I can make this work. Sure. I kind of wasn't planning on going live with this. Maybe that's not going to work. I will be back with y'all as soon as I can. All right, we're back, folks. I'll just use a scoop. Might take a little bit longer, but it's not even halftime for the last game of the day. So I will be up doing this for a while. Anyway, something else that I will also do before I secure the lid is I have some toilet paper, paper towels, a rag, and you just wipe the rim of the lid. That way you get a nice seal between the glass and the little piece of rubber on the metal lid. But if you're new, then I will also just give you the advice that you need to store what you eat. So with this stuff, I love oatmeal. Have forever. And there's so many varieties that you can do to mix this meal up. Like the peach tree I planted, putting diced peaches in here would probably be amazing. I don't think I've ever put peaches in my oatmeal before. I've done blueberries before. Every once in a while, give it a nice little shake. Tap it down where you're getting the maximum amount in here. And if you left these oats in their cardboard container, then they would last you several years, as long as the container didn't get moist and you'd be dealing with mold. But doing it like this and freezing it just to make sure, you're going to be getting a lot more years out of it. And that's going to be anywhere between 10 to 25 plus. It's one of those things that you can't, with all certainty, say it will last forever because of food and health and safety regulations. But we have found this stuff before, stored away, and no issues. All right, so I gave it a nice wipe. Just looking for impurities on the other part, just to make sure. Make sure it's nice and tight. And then I'll date it and stick it in the freezer. So we got at least, I think we're going to get about 4 quart sizes out of this. So haven't done the live streams before, but I always talk about putting away this much food and putting away that much food. And I've shown y'all the food before, but I don't want it to seem like I'm, a guru and not, practicing what I preach kind of thing. I guess I can also move these aside and give y'all more of the action. What I could also be doing, talking about stuff on the news. What are my thought processes on what's going on, uh, and I think me sitting here putting away more food on a live stream is a very good reaction to have. Uh, I am worried about what's going on in the world, and I kind of felt like I hit a prepping plateau at one point in my life, and now I'm, more adulting, have a budget set aside, and I'm constantly, trying to find ways that I can add to that budget. Now, another thing I will mention, I got just the plain Jane oats, because anything else you put in there has the possibility of not having as long of a shelf life. And I'd say we're a little bit less than halfway down into it. So maybe it'll only be like 3 full jars and one other partially full jar. Give it a nice shake. We're going to fill these up till we can't fill them up anymore. Say that's a pretty good amount. Give the lid a nice little wipe. Close it off. All right, that's quart jar. Numero dos. I didn't think I put these back on that tight. Although I would also say I'm further enough in that I can get a nice bend in this. Hopefully get a pretty decent pour out of this. Definitely thought it was going to be close to 3 or 4, but we're out. Take that trash. Take this trash. I don't know where I don't have any need for this, so it's just gonna get pitched at this point. Nearly 3 quart jars. All right. So another comment that I will make is getting this stuff in bulk will also be a lot more efficient. And then I also did pick up some more beef cubes. And they say you should use them before April 3rd, 2024. Almost all of your Best Buy dates that you're going to see on stuff like this is more of a quality control issue. But this, I don't even remember how many beans I got. I know it's not a 15 bean. So I've got split peas, 1 pound. So that's 1. I got a pound of small red beans, 2 pound of pintos, 3 pound of Great Northern, 4, pound of black, 5, pound of navy, 6, and a pound of black eyed peas, 7. So 7 bean soup. One part is going to be roughly measuring out, let's see, that's 7 pounds of beans. I don't know how many pounds will fit in the jar. So we'll just start with the first one. But the thought process with this is creating a meal per person in this size. I think I might need 7 of these, and we'll have 7 meals. All right, we'll start with the Great Northern beans. And there's no exact science to this. They will also get frozen as well. I'm just kind of doing a guess on the bean work. So there's jar numero 1. Another thing I will say about these beans and the oats that I'm putting away, all of this food is very, caloric dense. It's got decent amount of protein and carbs and just your nutrients you need in general. But they also require a very good amount of water. So that's something you need to keep in mind with this kind of food that we're putting away. That looks good. And what did I close? Can't see the screen no more. There we go. All right, bean number 2. We'll make navy beans bean number 3. But so between 7 1-pound bags of beans, I mean, we're looking at 7 meals for roughly probably $10 because some of the beans had a higher price tag than $1 for their 1-pound thing. All right, navy beans, good. Black eyed peas are the next one. All right, we still need to get 3 other types of beans in here, so maybe my ratio isn't the best. That's all right. I think I probably went too heavy on Great Northern bean. Not an exact science, though. This is just getting variety into my food preps. I think a pocket knife is in order. So ripping all this up. All right, pinto. That looks good. All right, now we've got small red beans, and we need to get the split peas. I can give it a nice little tap, maybe get some of that stuff to mix in real nice. All right, and last one will be the split peas. And if y'all like the idea of this video, then I can keep doing this, and I'll have some news stories prepared for us. That way, it's more than just me pouring and kind of coming up with stuff. All right, 7-bean soup. Only thing that's needed is water and a pot at this point. Kind of hard to tell if there's split peas in there, but the finished product, uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete. There we go. There's a little bit of wiggle room in there, but it'll all end up in the freezer anyway, sitting there for its about 5 days. Let's go ahead and get. So that was one. Maybe it might be a little bit more than 7, but I'll just get the 3 jars that I have over here set up and ready to go. That way we can speed up this process and cut this video out because we're already sitting at about 30 minutes worth of video. And I imagine I can get more efficient at this as I go on. Let's do the split peas next. All right, so on this one, I'm doing 3 jars at a time. We'll call that good. Matter of fact, I'm just going to go ahead, slide the keyboard up, and get 4 more jars. Don't really have the room on this desk for doing this, but we'll make it work out. I think there's a smell on that one. I don't know. It's not that. But all of those oats is definitely more than a week's worth of breakfasts for oats. And this could be looked at as 7 dinners. So, I mean, we're looking at a solid about 2 weeks worth of food, calorie-wise, for about $15. There is a little bit of a variety. We could up it to closer to 20 if you factor in jars, beef cubes, and just having some salt. I think I'm gonna need 1 more jar. Just 1 more though, hopefully. No more pintos. No more split peas. I'm just trying to fall off the desk. All right, no more small red beans. Black eyed peas. Maybe these jars aren't exactly a nice size for this. So I'm gonna make sure I get a little bit of all the beans in them. And then if there's still room in jars, I will top off more jars. But I might just put leftovers in a quart jar. And that can be a quart jar that I just fill up at the end. But prepping does not have to be a chore. It can very much be entertaining. Well, that's the end of the Great Northerner. So I've got a little bit of black eyed peas, a little bit of navy, a little bit of black beans left. So we'll just kind of start. That one's pretty darn full. That one's pretty darn full. Some of these will just be bean heavy on some other options. Oh, like this one will be black bean heavy. And this one will, and this one will. And this one will be more navy bean heavy. And so will this one. And this one. And this one. All right. That's 7 pounds of beans put into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 jars. These 9 jars will make their way to the freezer. Sitting there for 5 days. And then they'll make their way into, one of the prepping closets. It's not I don't have an exact, layout and science to where this kind of stuff goes. Probably should if I wanted to be super organized, but I haven't hit that level yet. And at the very least, these could be eaten as, you cook it. It's a meal for a whole day. All right, well, I'm out of food to put in mason jars. And I feel like this video will be going on long enough. So if you enjoyed it, like it, leave some comments and give me some more video ideas or questions I can answer for you. If you like what I'm doing to the channel, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And lastly, if you have a friend or family member that would benefit from the discussions that we have in these videos, send a link to them. And with that, I'll catch you in the next one.